Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, July 30th, 2021, and we are in the final hour of the trading day. We are in the last day of the trading week, and we are in the last day of the trading month. How about that? Talk about confluences lining up. This is a confluence day. End of the day, end of the week, end of the month. So, speaking of end of day, you know I like to take or make the majority of my buying and selling decisions based upon the end of day price. And in my opinion, the closing price of the day is the most valid price of the day to make your buying and selling decisions, because during the day you have the algorithms and the day traders. They are in control of the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come on in, they take control away from the day traders, the algorithms, and I consider them to be the smartest money on the street, and therefore I feel like it's an edge in my trading to buy at the end of the day. So thank you all for coming. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a good day. Kind of a crazy day in the market. We'll get to that in a minute. But here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. Did have some day trades today that I'm going to share with you as well. After that, we're going to go over to the board and we're going to take a look and see how my students' positions are doing. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important skill in trading ever is the skill of learning to manage your emotions. So we're going to cover that for a few minutes. Hopefully that will be helpful. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, confluence combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Secondly, I have to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. And third, I need to have a complete trading plan regardless of what I'm buying or regardless of the strategy that I'm using. For me, that plan includes position sizing based upon the current volatility of the market, knowing what my maximum allowed loss is on any one trade, knowing where my emergency stop is, my end of day stop, my intraday profit targets, my overhead resistance levels, and then having a good trailing stop set of rules or protocol in place so that you can protect your profits. As we get closer to the end of the day, I will go through the potential end of day candidates. We'll look for those requirements, and if I find something that looks good, I will go ahead and purchase it before the market closes. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you need clarification on anything I discussed today, please let me know. And lastly, if you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at prior to the close, put them in the live stream. I will do my very best to get to them before the close of the market. And then lastly, if my students have any new entries or exits for me today, if you could please wait till after the close of the market before you let me know about them, so that I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, pressure's off, and we'll get them all squared up. All right, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here today. First on deck, we have Anya T. Good to see you. Anya says, hi, Greg and group. Michael Martin is here. Happy Friday, traders. Good to see you, Michael. Hope you're doing well. Drive safe. Michael Wilkinson is here, a.k.a. Lova. Hey, everyone. Good to see you. Dan is here with the peace sign. Good to see you as well, Dan. Nigma wants to look at DLTR. Well, looks like we have a 520 crossover. I don't know if that back tests well. I don't like that we reject the previous high, and I don't like we reject the downward sloping 50-day SMA. I do like the relative strength here with the price being up on a down day on the weekly. We found some buyers at this level. That's why we are going sideways. Had a V1 last week. Not bad. You know, what's gonna be your stop on this though? Is it gonna be 5 crossing under the 20? Is it gonna be losing the 50 RSI? But I do like that it's up today. So kind of neutral on this. I don't think I would jump out at me if I was looking at this chart in particular though, Nigma. Steve Burns is here. Hello, trader. Steve, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everything that you do for this channel. Thank you so much. Kamal is also here. Hello, traders. Good to see you, Kamal. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel, all your hard work, all your contributions. Frank also says hello, Greg and group. Frank, good to see you. Again, thank you for everything that you do for this channel with your wonderful poems, fun facts, jokes, and all your great input. Frank Johnson is here. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day, Johnson, wherever you are. Nigma says, I tagged you on Twitter for a new Dutch fact, Frank. Oh, there you go. For a new Dutch fact. Oh, because we had the Dutch fact yesterday. Ava is here. Hi, Ava. Good to see you. Greetings, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day, my friend. And Jonathan says, evening, Greg and group, all the way from Ireland. Good to see you, Jonathan. Hope you're having a good day. So currently, Dow Jones down 116 points. NASDAQ only down 95 now. I remember the futures last night were down like 200. So making a decent little comeback there. And the S&P 500 down 19 points, down 0.45. So, okie dokie. Let's go ahead and take a look at current positions. All right, overnight SPY trade. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. Got a little clobbered on this one. Bought it yesterday at the close at 440.77. Sold it right at the open, 437.98. So I took a loss from 440.77 down to 437.98. We'll be buying this again today at the close, holding it over the weekend, selling it first thing Monday morning. LYV, the dynamic duo, and myself, we did have a deep dip buy with the close over the 200-day moving average at 76.98. Moved up nicely. I always take profits on the way up. Got up to 1.5 ATR trailing stop. Now I'm in trailing stop mode. Might as well put my little blue line here telling me that I very likely will have to sell half of my position because we got 1.5 ATRs from entry and then have a close below the previous day's low. So I'm going to have to watch that one. But that trade was up a lot more. Now it's only up about 2.98%. But again, that's why I like to take profits as we go up, because I did get some profits up at these higher levels. My end of day stop is the 200-day moving average. Fastly. All right. So Steve Burns, myself, and Frank, I took a half position yesterday with the 520 crossover. I bought at 109.05. It's 107.02. It's down 1.82% today. My end of day stop on a crossover is if I get the price closing below both the two moving averages that I use to take the trade. I took the trade with the 520 crossover. And so therefore, I'm going to have to watch this at the end of the day to see if the price closes below both. If it does, my protocol is to get out of half. So down on this trade, on this particular trade, over 2% so far. All right, let's look at some day trades. Let's see. All right, I did have a really nice trade on VIX today. We were way above the value zone. We came all the way back into the value zone. What got me interested in this trade was coming back into the value zone, also coming back into support here. On this particular bar here, my entry bar, we went under 50, over 50. That was the only signal really that I used. I guess technically there was a little bit of a V1, but It was such a big move down, back into the value zone, right back at support that's held each time. I did buy it here at 29.61, had a big strong bar up, sold half at 29.92, had another big up bar, sold another half of a half at 30.05, and then it continued up. I sold another right here. I exited the trade here with this bearish candle at 30.27. So I entered at 29.61, got out at 29.92, got out at 30.05, and got out at 30.27. So good little trade there. And then Disney, did not have a good trade on Disney. I bought here with a bounce at the 30 RSI and a V1 and at the negative third ATR channel. Bought here at 176.21, and the next bar, boom, got me out, closed under 30. So I bought at 176.21, out at 175.90. So lost 31 cents on the trade, but not too bad. The VIX trade made up for it, and that's about it. So today is Friday, and it's the end of the month, so I am going to quickly go over my end of week and my end of month trades. So let's get down here. This has been a monster trade, and I'll tell you what, I like trading weekly bars because I don't even look at them. Like, I was surprised when I actually looked at this yesterday, but this is a weekly trade that I took along with anyone else in this? No. All right, so I did take the weekly trade on PKI with this 520 crossover, bullish engulfing bar, V1, bought it at 140.80, moved up, moved up, moved up, moved up. Last Friday, it went above 70 and below 70, so I got out of half at about 164. And then this week has been a monster. Hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 profit targets just this week. And I'm going to be exiting this today. It's such a big move. We're getting so high. You know, I don't want to be a pig about it. This particular trade right here at this moment, up 22.54% on the weekly. And that's why I like to take trades on different time frames. So I am going to exit this on this big strong bar. There's 77 RSI. We rejected the 345 ATR channel. So I am going to go ahead, lock in this trade, but this has been a great, great trade. DoorDash. All right, Tracy and Paxton and myself did buy DoorDash all the way back here. We had a false breakout to the downside and a V1, came back, tested close to the halfway of the V1 bar and bounced at the negative 1 ATR channel. Bought this at 137.48. Next week, went above and below 50. I sold half at about 150. Then the last couple months, it's just gone up, 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 up. We got to 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. Then I had to close below the previous day's low. Got out at 168 even. No profit targets this week, but this particular trade is up 21.07%. So those two weekly trades were monsters. Now, monthly trades, it's the last day of the month, so I have to make a decision. Tracy and Paxton and David and I did buy UNG with a higher low V2 back in the value zone. Bought it January, February, March, April 30th at 10.52, and this has just been a monster. Look, it's just gone up, up, and up. We did reject the 50 RSI this month, so I will lock in half here, hit one profit target. But on this monthly trade, this particular trade, up 23.35%. Unreal. And then lastly, Boeing. I did buy Boeing with a 520 crossover at 247. Currently, it's 226.24. I'm going to be selling half of my position here. The 5 is still above the 20, but it looks like it's closing below both the 5 and the 20. And this particular longer time frame, this is down 9.01. So really, really good trades on the weekly and the monthly, but I will be selling half of my Boeing today because I took it as a crossover and it's closing below both the 5 and the 20. So hope that all makes sense. And again, on the weekly, On PKI, I am selling that. Let me cancel the trades here so I know. Yes. All right. I'm just going to do it right now. Just be done with it. But that was a monster. That was a monster of monsters. Okay. And then Dash, we're okay on Dash. Nothing we have to do on Dash. And Boeing, selling half of Boeing on the monthly with the with the price closing below both the 5 and the 20s, but I'm only taking off half. And then UNG is fine, right? No, UNG selling half as well. I'm going to do that right now, just while I'm thinking about it. Oh, give me 1 second. All right. Done and done. So I sold half here with the rejection of the 50 RSI. Whether I'm trading the monthly or the weekly or the daily, doesn't matter. If they don't respect those levels, I'm going to get out of half. Steve says, once again, today's VIX rally is crushed. Let's see yeah, the VIX was up quite a bit earlier. Gapped way open, came down, is still up 1.66% on the day. Waterbender's here. Happy Friday, everyone. Good to see you, Waterbender. Steve says ABNB 520 crossover. ABNB. Yes. Jonathan and Kamal are already in that trade. Let me do a little bit of math here. Okay, 221, 1.5, 331, and we'll put Airbnb down here. ABNB. Okay. Timothy is here. Good to see you, Tim. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Lilia says, hi, Greg and group. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well, Lilia Paxton. So what is the plan on UNG? You said you are locking in profits. Are you selling half? So let's go back to UNG. Yeah, I just sold half just a second ago because we rejected the 50 RSI. We're at 47.98. We went above 50 earlier in the month, came back below. So I am selling half, Paxton. Sorry, my voice is a little weak today. All right. All right, let's head over and take a look at your positions. Here we go. Steve Burns did buy gold yesterday with a 520 crossover. Bought it at 60.96. It's currently 59.84. It is down 1.87%, so it's down on the day and down on the trade. STNE, Kamal bought STNE, false breakout to the downside in a V2 at 57.10. It's 58.64, down on the day, but up on the trade, which is most important. Play, we have Gary in play at 36.78 and 36.28. We had this higher low close back above the 200-day moving average and a V2. Did close below a couple days ago, closed below the 200. And then down today 3.64%. So down on the day, unfortunately, and down on the trade. LEGR, Steve bought LEGR with a 520 crossover at 42.18. It's currently 42.22. So it is down on the day, but still slightly up on the trade for Steve. Spotify bucking the trend for Steve and the dynamic duo. Bought an under 30, over 30, bought at 226.35. It's 229.50. It's up 1.88% today on a really big down day, so congratulations. Berkshire Hathaway, Ava bought Berkshire Hathaway with the sideways motion, bullish engulfing bar V1, 520 crossover, bought at 280.90. It is currently 277.98. So this one is also down on the day and down on the trade. Affirm, Kamal bought Affirm with a higher low V2 at 59.60. Initially went positive, down 6% today, unfortunately. So down on the day and down on the trade. CTVA, who is this? Dynamic Duo, bought intraday rejection, higher low intraday rejection, V1 of the 200, 52.35, is down 1.06% today, but still up on the trade. It looked like it was up earlier, but unfortunately came back. INSG, Johan bought INSG all the way back here. Is that the only one? Yep, just Johan. Bought well, I guess V2. Yeah, V2 bought here at 847. It's 877. It is down 2.88% today, but he is still up on the trade. Speaking of Airbnb, Jonathan Kamal had a beautiful buy under 30, over 30, rejection of the negative 30 ATR channel at 131.90. It's currently 143.75. It is up on the day and nicely up on the trade as well, up 8.33%. So way to go. AGQ, Steve, Jonathan, Dynamic Duo did buy AGQ with the intraday rejection of the 31 RSI and the third ATR channel at 40.91. Exploded to the upside yesterday. Today coming down a little bit, down 1.3%, but still this particular trade is up 5.55%. Very nice. FCX, Steve bought FCX with the 520 crossover at 36.38. It's currently 37.92, so it is up nicely on the trade, but a little bit down on the day. SCCO, Steve bought SCCO, 520 crossover, 65.02. Big day yesterday, up, kind of a big day down today. So it is down today, but it is still positive on the trade. BYD, the Dynamic Duo bought BYD at 58.60. We're currently at 57. They bought it with the 520 crossover. It is down on the day and it is down on the trade as well. ALK, the Dynamic Duo bought ALK with the close above the 200-day moving average at 57.90. Moved up strongly. Started to go sideways, and today looks like we're right back at break even on the trade. So I don't know if any profits were taken up there. Obviously, I hope so. Apps, Dynamic Duo. There's someone else up there. Kamal. Oh, even more. Jonathan, Kamal, Dynamic Duo, Ava, and Michael Martin did buy apps. Higher low V2 close above the 200-day moving average at 63.10. It's currently 62.41, so down 2.9% today. So down on the day and also down on the trade. A lot of things down today. Nvidia, Michael Martin bought Nvidia back at 195. It's currently 194.62. So down on the day and slightly down on the trade. So a lot of down stuff today, unfortunately. Okay. Gary says, Greg, I exited play 2 days ago. Yeah, I kind of thought you would. I was a little surprised. So thank you, Gary. I'll get that all updated. And now we are updated. Let's see. There's Disney. We can get rid of that. Boy, I missed out on a trade today. I missed out on a Tesla trade. I really saw this. I was actually explaining this to someone. And where did it go? Oh, it was intraday. Sorry. It was on the 5-minute on Tesla. I did not take this trade. But the good learning example here. I was looking for a short. We kept going higher and higher and higher. MACD kept going lower and lower and lower, indicating that buying momentum was starting to stall. We also got to the third ATR channel. We also lost the 70 RSI, And those confluence of signals, I didn't take it. I wish I would have, but look at that. I mean, boy, would that have been a great short, huh? Would have been a great short for sure. Moving sideways now, just kind of holding. Don't see any entries there. Okay. Let's take a look over here. Okie doke. All right, so it's 127. So listen, before we kind of start looking at the charts, before we start looking for those three requirements, and those three requirements again are confluence combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Number two, good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. If I'm risking $1,000 to the downside, I need to be able to make at least 2 or more thousand to the upside, and then of course have a good trade plan as far as your position sizing, where your profit targets are, where significant overhead resistance levels are, what your trailing stop methodology is going to be, all very important. But before we do that, let's turn our attention a little bit to more ethereal things, talk a little bit about trader psychology. Steve Burns, who is in the chat with us right now, of course, is my favorite poster. You can find him in a variety of places. You can find him over on Facebook in the New Traders, Rich Traders group. It's a really great group. Kamal's in there. I'm in there. Tom Bassel's in there. Mark Minervini's in there. So if you're on Facebook, come over to the New Traders, Rich Traders. But I always like to do a Steve Burns saying on Friday, give us something to think about over the weekend. But, this is so true, what I'm about to read to you. No matter how big your profits are, there are always people with bigger profits. Don't let ego get into your mind. Always focus on improving yourself and stop comparing. And what I really like about this is just the context, right? Here's Kevin Hart, and here is The Rock. Rock quite a bit bigger, make Kevin Hart look kind of short, but look over here. All of a sudden now The Rock looks pretty short, and Shaq looks really tall. However, there's always someone bigger. Here's Shaq looking a little bit short compared to Yao Ming, right? I mean, it's fun to look at anyway, right? Kevin Hart, The Rock. Rock looks big. The Rock, Shaq looks big. Rock looks small. Yao Ming looks tall. Make Shaq look small, right? So it's all relative. And my point here discussing this is, don't compare your results to someone else. You might see someone that goes on a hot streak and you're like, oh, I should do what he does, or oh, I should do what she does, or why can't I trade like that? We all use different trading methodologies, and there's always a time and a place. Sometimes our methodology is going to be in phase with the market. Other times it's not going to be in phase with the market. But please don't compare yourself to someone. All you can do is what Steve says here. Just always focus on improving yourself and stop complaining that someone else is making money and you're not. Because guess what? When you're making money, probably that other person is not making money if they're using a different trading methodology. So no matter how big your profits are, there's always people with bigger profits. Don't let ego into your mind. Always focus on improving yourself and stop comparing. Stop comparing. Just work on yourself, work on your trading. You have a personal best. Doesn't matter what your numbers are compared to anyone else. And I see a lot of people fall into that trap. They say, oh, this guy's like really doing well and I'm not, and maybe I should change. And you know what's going to happen if you change, right? When you change, that approach is probably going to have a drawdown. And if you would have stayed with the same one, like when you're in a lane, and it seems like the other lane's moving faster, so you get over to that lane and all of a sudden that lane stops and the lane that you're in keeps going. If you've ever watched Office Space, you know the scene I'm talking about. But yeah, just focus on yourself. Stop comparing yourself and your results to someone else. Just be the best that you can be. And thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate that. And also follow Steve over on Twitter at S. Joseph Burns on Twitter. He's got a great website, newtraderu.com. He's got wonderful books on Amazon. So check those out, read them, ingest them, internalize them. And thanks so much, Steve, for the great post and the great visual. And thank you again for everything you do for this channel. All right, we have a poem. Let me paste this in here. All right, here we go. Poem from Frank. A trade is but a slice of time, an exchange of cash for stock along a moving line, waiting for our setup to align. A trigger, a signal, a certain sign, for these are the thoughts in a trader's mind. Let me try that again. A trade is but a slice of time, an exchange of cash for stock along a moving line, waiting for our setup to align. A trigger, a signal, a certain sign, for those are the thoughts in a trader's mind. Yeah, waiting for your signals, right? And you're exchanging cash to be in the game, but wait for your signal. Make sure it's certain. And this is how I think. I look at multiple time frames. I look at supports. I look at good risk to reward ratios. And I think that's what's being said in this poem. Timothy says NSC V2 bounce. Okay, we got 2 here. NSC. Oh, let me take this off real quick. Bounce of the 200. So on my charts here, the 200 bounce came a few days ago, is up today. So I do like the relative strength, Tim. Based on my charts, though, I don't think I would go ahead and buy this personally right this second. But that's me. You may be looking at different charts. Maybe you do have a bounce off the 200, and if you do, and it's a good risk to reward ratio, then fine. MACD is positive. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly is, moving sideways. It's below the -1 ATR channel. So on the weekly, you're going to have that a little bit as resistance here. Let's take a look at his second one. OKTA. Oh, I think I have this one. Yeah, it's a V1. We've tested the 200-day moving average twice, and it's up today. So I do like the V1. I like the relative strength. I like that we're in the value zone. I like that we've tested the 200-day twice. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly, last week we had a big up bar. This week we came back and tested about halfway. I kind of like it. I actually have this. I like this one actually. And I have this on my list of things to look at today as well. All right. Well, we have a lot to get through. We have daily swing trades to look at. We have weekly trades to look at, and we have monthly trades to look at as well. Well, big news of the day: Amazon. Well, I think we all know by now that Amazon did not react very well, or at least the stock did not react very well to Amazon's earnings yesterday after the bell. Kind of a good example here of why it's difficult to hold through earnings. Sometimes you get the gap up, sometimes you get the gap down, but like I was talking with Lilia yesterday, your main focus in trading is managing your risk. Not making profits, but managing the money you already have. That's the most important thing you can do, is hold on to money that you have. And the best way to put yourself in a position to lose money quickly, which if you're a good steward of your money and you're managing risk, you will not do, is holding through earnings. And I mean, imagine the people that just bought Amazon yesterday thinking, that's the key word, oh no, I've seen Amazon trucks around and I think they're doing really well. Yeah, okay, so now you're down 7.47% in one day. Now, glad we didn't do that. Hopefully we didn't do that. Now, is this a buy today? Well, let's take a look at the RSI level. So RSI level right now, 31.93. So it did not go under 30. It bounced near the 31. I'd like it a whole lot better if we could close above the 200 or the 100-day moving average here. Honestly, the confluence of the 200-day moving average and the 30 RSI, because tomorrow or Monday, the 30 RSI is going to be where? Ooh, right about there. Another $63 down, like 1.92%, but that is where I am going to buy Amazon. Gives you a great risk to reward ratio at serious support of the 200-day moving average and the 250 and the 30 RSI on a big company, strong company like Amazon. So I'm not going to buy Amazon today unless it closes over the 100. If it closes over the 100 by some miracle, then I would be interested in buying Amazon today. But it has to go higher and close above the 100-day moving average. Excuse me. Sorry. Or intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average would make sense. Let's look over on the weekly. Well, big down bar into the weekly. We've come into the value zone. I mean, we could go as low as 31.77. So we could go much lower. I've noticed when you have a bar that's larger than 1.5 ATRs coming into the value zone, very often it will come down and test that. I don't know that for sure, but what I do know for sure is that Monday, if we reject the 200 and the 250, that would be a great long-term place to buy Amazon for a good risk to reward setup. ARK. Well, I was looking at ARK a little earlier in the day when it was above the 200-day moving average, but not anymore, so we'll take that off. WBA, we are in the value zone. The moving average is 47.19. We're at 47.15, so we're still above the 200-day moving average. Looking over on the weekly, we have had a bounce off the 50-week. We're holding the 100-week moving average. I like that it's up on a down day. Let me see what's the Dow. Yeah, so we're down 150. Nasdaq's down 105, and S&P's down 23. All right. Netflix, not bad. We have a higher low V1. We have a close above the 200-day moving average, not quite yet. 56.59, and the 200 is 56.16. I would be interested in buying Netflix if we could close above the 200-day moving average, but right now, as is, we do not have that yet, but I'll watch that at the end of the day. Etsy. Well, earlier in the day, it was holding the 200-day moving average. Thought it might have been a good deep dip buy, but it's too low now. Shopify, in the value zone, I believe on the weekly. I like the weekly because we had a big up move. We came back to about halfway. That got me interested in looking for a trade on the daily. And if I switch to the daily, earlier in the day, it had a return to value, false breakout to the downside, and triggered a V1. But I'm waiting till the end of the day to see if this V1 triggers. Actually, based upon the weekly, the halfway of last week's big up bar, I like that a lot. I would take a trade on the daily if we triggered a V2, but we would have to have some kind of big rally here before that time. TER, Teradyne. I was looking for a 520 crossover. It's 125.49 to 125.79. So the crossover has not happened. So I'm not interested there. UUP close back over the 250-day moving average. Don't think I'm going to get involved with that. FedEx. Pretty good risk to reward ratio here, everyone. I don't think we went under the 30 RSI, but it is a good risk to reward ratio with the bounce at the negative third ATR channel and intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. Let's look over on the weekly. Did bounce near the negative 1 ATR channel, so that one is also a potential for me. OKTA. It'd be better if we had a V1. Close is 248.18, so we have not triggered a V1, or we've untriggered a V1, I should say. 244.18. Or no. Close 248.18. So we can watch that one. I like the bounce at the 200, but I like a confluence of signals, so I'd rather have the V1 as well. And then as Steve mentioned, Airbnb does have the 520 crossover. Did reject the 50-day moving average on top. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly looks okay. We're back in the value zone, so that's a potential as well. All right. So those are the daily potentials. I'll go back over those again in a minute. Let's look at some potential weekly trades. Berkshire Hathaway. It did trigger. It was a nice return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside. V1 last week. If you would have taken that trade, it was down a little bit today. It was it was down. It was up earlier this week, is what I'm saying, and now we're back down. It's still holding, but you probably know what I'm looking at. I'm looking over here at this halfway bar over here, and the resistance we would get at 50%, and just like magic, resistance, 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 resistance. So I think I'm going to let that one go. FCX, Freeport, Morgan, copper, and gold. I did test this. This does back test well. Doesn't mean it's going to work in the future, but I do like it. I like the 520 crossover. So let me make sure I've got that. Yep. So for a weekly trade, I do like the 520 crossover here in the value zone. Gold does not have a crossover. I was looking for a 520 crossover, so that's no good. Love, on the weekly, it had an intraday rejection or intra-week rejection of the 200-day moving average. Now it's below, so no. Teladoc, liked it earlier when it was a V1, a higher low V1, but no more. And Tesla has a 520 crossover that does back test well. It is green on a red day. I do kind of like Tesla. We have a 520 crossover on the weekly, on the daily as well, and a 520 crossover here also. So let's take a look. Where's my Tesla? Yep. Now let's look at some monthly trades. Monthly, Merck is okay, but nothing really special. And XOM, if we have a rejection of the 200, it was holding on the 200. Let's look over at the quarterly. It's holding the 50, so that's not too bad. So let me narrow this down here. Looks like Amazon is probably not going to close above the 100-day moving average. WBA, no, I think there's better. Narrow that down to Netflix. If it closed over the 200, it's underneath at the moment. There's FedEx, not bad. OKTA, untriggered, so I'm going to get rid. And then Airbnb. All right, give me 1 second. I need to take care of something. I'll be back in about 40 seconds, if you can hang on that long. Okie dokie. All right, so let's start with the dailies again. We have Netflix. It's under the 200, so not even a potential at the moment. All right, FedEx is a potential. And that is, okay, 179, 269. Airbnb has a nice 520 crossover. So Airbnb. All right. So those really are my two favorite right now, FedEx and Airbnb on the daily. On the weekly, no on Berkshire Hathaway. FCX looks pretty good on the weekly. $247 and $371. Okay. GLD does not have the crossover. Love is below the 200. Teladoc, no. And Tesla is a potential on the weekly. With the 520 crossover. So FCX and Tesla are my favorite there. And I'm not super thrilled, honestly, about Merck or XOM on the monthly. So FCX, Tesla. All right. So FCX. And Tesla on the weekly. So as far as the daily goes, I'm more inclined to go with Airbnb because of the relative strength and the crossover. So Airbnb is going to be my pick today on for the daily trade. And then on the weekly trade, we have the 520 crossover here on FCX and Tesla. Let's look at multiple time frames. Tesla, the second ATR channel, no big down bars. I like the relative strength of Tesla today. Where FCX is down, but let's look at the weekly. I think I'm going to pass on FCX because of the big bar, and we're right at about halfway. So I'm going to make it easy. Oh, shucks. FCX. Put that back up there for Steve. FCX. Bam. No, wrong one. FCX. All right, come on, Greg. FCX. All right. And Airbnb. ABNB. How are we doing? We have 10 minutes. Okay. Give me 1 second. I guess we can wait on that. And then let me look back here at Fastly. Fastly's holding both, so they're still keepers. And LYV, I am going to have to sell half with a close below the previous day's low, but I will keep half. All right, so I like Airbnb with a 520 crossover, and on the monthly or on the weekly bars, I like Tesla with a 520 crossover. So we have about 10 minutes to go. I'll hang out a little bit and wait before I do anything. But Airbnb on the daily is what I'm buying. Tesla on the weekly is what I'm buying. Tim says NVCR has supported the 250, but RSI is 21. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, that's about all it has, though. On the weekly, it's lost the 50-week moving average. Yeah, I don't think I'd buy that one. Amazon almost got the 30 RSI Confluence, but it did bounce at the lower third ATR channel. So we'll look at Amazon. Yeah, it lost the, for me anyway, it lost the 100. So I'm going to wait, see if I can pick Amazon up at about 32.70. So about $50 lower than it is now. Pins under over 30. Not anymore. It's under 30 now as well. I'd be really careful with that kind of big gap down. My gosh, it's down 18.3%. Fun fact, Hershey sold a chewing gum called Easy Chew from 1915 to 1924. It ceased production because the Harding administration did not consider gum necessary for moral and limited chiclet imports. Ah, interesting. Kind of interesting for me because I was in the chewing gum business and I did not know that. So that is a fun fact. Steve says pin snuck back over the 30 RSI. Did it? I have it at 29.93. Steve Burns says, oh, pins lost the 30 RSI again. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead right now. I'm going to buy Tesla on the weekly. And let's look at Airbnb. Yeah, Airbnb is going to be fine. So Airbnb. And I'm going to buy Airbnb on the daily. And Airbnb on the daily. Okay. Buying SPY at the close as well. All right. Selling half of Live Nation with the close under the previous day's low after reaching the 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. And then Fastly is holding both the 5 and the 20 so far. So that's it. I bought Airbnb for the daily with a 520 crossover. I bought Tesla on the weekly with the 520 crossover. So I'm done. Kamal says apps is going down to the wire as far as the 200-day moving average. So it's a photo finish is what you're saying. 62.98, 62.90. Gary says prime example of not holding into earnings, ZenChart. I own it with a cost of $24.32, but it definitely hurts. Uh-oh. Let's take a look. I don't want to look at this. Oh, yeah, down 13%. But you're in it at what? 24.33? Okay, well, that's unfortunate and definitely hurts for sure. But I'm glad you're in at 24.33, Gary. Good for you, buddy. Okay. Misha, when are you figuring out when you are figuring out position size on a weekly, do you still use the 2 times the ATR for your stop? I do. So if I was buying VIX for whatever reason today, I would switch to the weekly bars. And let's say my maximum allowed loss is $2,000. So if I'm buying something on the weekly, I need to look at the ATR value of the weekly. In this, it's 997. So I take 2,000 divided by 9.97, and it would tell me to buy 201 shares. Compared to if I bought it on the daily, I would take 2,000 divided by the value of the 2 ATR on the daily, which is 374. So I would buy 534. So it's a big difference, but it makes sense because it's averaging the range on the weekly, and the weekly bars are much longer, so your ATR value is going to be much higher, therefore your position size is going to be much smaller. Hope that makes sense. All right, so we have about 1 minute to go. Okay. 5 minutes to the weekend, 5 seconds to the weekend, everyone. Okay. We are done. What a day. Dow down 148 points. NASDAQ down 105.59 and the SPX down 23. So let's take a look, see where I bought what I bought. Overnight SPY trade, I bought at 438.51. Airbnb on the daily, I bought at 144.12. And Tesla on the weekly, I bought at 685.47. So, just to be clear, I did sell half of my position, locked in some profit on LYV because it went above, it got to 1.5 ATR trailing stop level and then had a close below the previous day's low. So I locked in some profits there. Fastly, it did hold, the price did hold the 5 and the 20, so I did not do anything with it. SPY, I bought at 438.51. Alrighty, boom, just like that. And Then Airbnb, I bought it 140. Oh, this was Kamal over here, so we're gonna have to do this. All right. 144.12. And I'm gonna make that green. And I'm gonna also make that, no, gotta make that blue. Okay. And then let me turn this to green because those guys bought it earlier. And make this green because those guys bought it earlier. And then I'm gonna make this blue. All right, that's complicated. All right, Greg, that's me. And then Tesla, I bought Tesla with the 520 crossover on the weekly, and I bought Tesla at 685.47. Okay, done and done. All right, so listen, if any of you have any new entries, exits for me today, please let me know. Put them in the live stream. I'll get them all taken care of. Before I do, just want to remind everybody, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I teach a really great course. It's 15 total hours. I think the best way to learn anything is one-on-one, whether you're learning trading, guitar, whatever, and that's why I offer this course. I have taught a lot of people all around the world. I've had very good success. It's a great course. It costs $1,750, but it is worth every penny. You will be a better trader. So, and the other thing too is I put a lot of energy, burn a lot of calories with my students because it's very important to me that they succeed. So if you are interested in doing this course with me, just send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. I will reply and say, hey, let's set up a Skype call. Skype call's free. Just want to talk to you, learn more about you and your trading and your goals. It's a good time for you to ask me any questions about the course. And then when we're done with the call, think about it as long as you want. And if you decide, hey, I want to learn to be a better trader, just email me back, say, Greg, I'm ready, and we will get started. Number two, I do have a really good online course available on udemy.com. It's 9.5 hours of video. It's 26 videos total, 15 study guides. It's a great course. I teach you step-by-step how to trade the deep dip buy stock trading approach. Probably one of the best things about it, over on Udemy, it's like $12 or $15. It's so worth the money. It's worth 10 times more than that, 100 times more than that. So the link's in the description if you'd like to take that course this weekend. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It helps to build the channel, keep the channel around, lets people know that there's some value here, or lets YouTube know that there's some value here so they'll get out and share it more. All right, so that's it. Let's go over, take a look, and see what everyone did today. Steve said, I exited the following trades. AGQ for 6.11% profit. Very nice, Steve. SCCO. For a 0.77% gain. Very good. LEGR for a 0.02% gain. And UGL for a 1.76% loss. Okay. Got those taken care of. All right, Steve is long Airbnb. And I'm going to make Steve blue over here like me. Okay, Steve. Well, I'll put here 520 crossover. Steve is long Amazon. $332.28. 33.28.29. 33.28.29. Okay, good luck on that, Steve. Hope that bounces. Pins. With the close back above the 30, oh, it finally did. All right, what's your price there? $53.83. I mean $58.83. Okay, very nice, Steve. All right, I'm tired today. Pins, we got pins. Misha says, thank you. Yes, it makes sense. Great. Glad to hear that, Misha. Affirm. Kamal is out of Affirm. Kamal kept apps. Where is apps? Oh, here we go. Okay. Nigma says, have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you. Shopify for Kamal. Everyone knows Kamal is the shop master. $15.12.50. Okay. Gary is an AB&B and Tesla Weekly. Okay. And then Tesla Weekly is also Gary. Frank is in SPY. Four 38.46. Okay, Frank, got it. Paxton is out of apps. Out of BYD. Out of ALK. Out of half AGQ. Yeah, that makes sense with the close below. Out of 1/2 LYV. Along with me. Let me go back to apps, actually. No, not apps. AGQ. Okay. CTVA. Out of all that, okay. And in Airbnb. Dan says thumbs up. Thank you, Dan. Yes, if you could, I would really appreciate that. Jonathan, app down 25% on the trade. Tesla weekly. And then what was the other one? Apps. Okay. And did I get Jonathan on Tesla? Yes, I did. Okay. Kamal says, wow, Steve, I would not dare to buy that pins today. Ava is on Tesla Weekly. Okay, good, Ava. We'll get you on there. All right. So Airbnb up a little after hours. Amazon's unchanged. SPY is up 35 cents. Tesla is up 37 cents. And VIX is up also. And by the way, PKI, I got out of PKI today on the weekly. That was a monster trade, everyone. Holy smokes. I think I can feel good about taking that one off. And then Dash. Didn't change anything with Dash. UNG, I sold half today with the rejection of the 70. And then BA, I sold half with the loss of the 5 and the 20 for a small loss. That's the key, right? We can have big wins, we can have small wins, we can have break-even trades, we can have small losses. We just cannot have large losses. That messes up the complete math of profitable trading. So if you want to be a long-term profitable trader, do what I just said. Cut those losses quick, let those winners run. That's about all there is to it. At the end of the day, that's really what it's about. Frank says, Tesla on the weekly is so tempting, but it drives me nuts. Yeah, it's a wild one. Paxton says, have a good weekend, everyone. Thanks for all the guidance and positive motivation. You are 100% welcome, Paxton. Really proud of you and Tracy. I know you had a tough day today, but, you know, that's part and parcel of trading. Hey, if we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. Good advice, right? It is good advice. We should try to make this a habit every day of just going out and doing one nice thing for another human being. Also, if possible, go out and do one nice thing for an animal, right? It's going to make the human feel good. It's going to make the animal feel good. It should make you feel good. It's a win-win all the way around. And hopefully one day when you need it, somebody will be there for you. So, you know, you give to get kind of stuff, right? Well, it's been a wild week. It's been a wild month. And so we start August next Monday. So, we'll talk about that next time. We'll talk about that next time for sure. All right, does anyone have any comments? Jonathan said, loved PKI trade. Thank you, that was a monster. That was a monster. Every once in a while you get a monster, and that pays for a lot of losers. Remember that. You have to have some big winners to pay for your losers as well. So I'm fortunate to have that position. Fortunate if I took those 2 weekly positions of over 20% each. So Not bragging, just wanted to make an example of why I like to trade on other time frames. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons, I just didn't look at it. I glanced at it, but it never gave me any sell signals. I just stuck with it. Lily says, thank you, Greg. Have a nice weekend. Thank you very much, Lilia. Michael says, thank you for everything, Greg. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you. You are appreciated as well, Michael. Lilia is appreciated. Ava is appreciated. Really appreciate you, Greg, and everyone here. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you, Ava, so much. Frank says, bravo, Greg, on the PKI trade. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Kamal says, have a great weekend, traders. Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much, Kamal. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for your friendship, as always. All right, if anyone has any other comments or questions or jokes or fun facts or poems or anything else, this is a good time to put them in the live stream. I'll hang out for a couple minutes. If not, I'll get on with my day. Michael says, does it help your YouTube algorithm if we listen to the podcast until the end of the disclaimer? I don't know, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know if it does, but I appreciate you asking, Michael. I don't think it would make a big difference, to be honest with you. So, let's prepare ourselves for next month. If we didn't bring our A game this month, how about we make a resolution for August that we do everything the right way? How about that? Just 1 month. If we can do it for 1 month, we can make it a habit. So I'll talk a little bit about that more on Monday. Jonathan says, enjoy your weekend. Thank you. Thank you. And Michael, looking forward to our lesson on Sunday afternoon. And we'll jump into some double bottoms with bullish divergences. How about that? Okay. Well, listen, everyone. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend. Be good. Be kind. Do something good for a person. Do something nice for an animal. If you've hit the thumbs up button already, I thank you very much. If you haven't and you did enjoy the podcast today and learned something, I would appreciate it if you would before you check out of here. And as always, drive safe. Look both ways at intersections. Hands at 10 and 2. Watch yourself. Be careful. Michael gives a thumbs up. Let's see. I don't know what that is. All right. I think that is it. Well, thanks again, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Appreciate you spending your time here. And I look forward to speaking to you on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.